Well, hello. Belinda and I are here studying the last step as it is proposed by our method of active reading. I want to mention that although these are steps and I'm presenting them to you as very structured steps, as you start doing this, you'll realize that one step may overlap onto the other. And we're going to see that in this last section when we're going to talk about how to begin to remember this topic, whatever it is that we're studying, and how are we going to commit it to memory, and how is it going to maybe bring up some questions on things that we don't understand. So Belinda and I are going to talk about her preparation, maybe for a test, maybe just to answer maybe some questions that your instructor has left for you, and most importantly, for you to be able to retain the subject matter. So Belinda, did you have any problem answering all your questions?
No, I was able to find answers for my questions, which make me think about them more often.
Did you find answers to the questions that were in different pages? Like maybe there
When
was...
things came, they talked about the 5 factors later in the chapter. Yes. I
Okay.
could jot those down.
Okay, and that's an important thing to do. It's really important that you, that's why I leave the big page open so that you can bring it back and connect it. How about vocabulary? Did you have any words that you didn't understand?
I had to look up several words, but dictionary.com comes in handy.
Good. That's very good to know. One of the things we're going to do now is I sort of like the last portion. So you've taken your notes, and this is also when people, like if you don't go to class sometime and you don't have notes, somebody in the classroom didn't take notes, the person that you, whatever, you can take notes from the book the same way. So you have all your notes, and you may have copious pages of notes because the chapters are long. And now we're going to start the process of learning it. This is better done with somebody else, but if you don't have somebody else, you can do it by yourself. And I know this is going to sound funny, but I'm going to tell you the first thing you need to do is begin to recite. It means out loud the answers that you have from all these questions. I have recommended to some people, and it is a regular technique used in theater, to recite in front of a mirror. And I know it's funny, I know it sounds goofy, but it does work. So if you ever are studying alone and you're in front of a mirror, just start talking to yourself in front of the mirror. I don't know what is the secret, but I do know that it works. So when you start to recite, then you need to make sure you underline the most important things and begin to talk to yourself. So if the first question would have been, what is the nature of personality? Then you have to say, when I talk about the nature of personality, I have to talk about 3 things: personality, personality traits, and the 5-factor model of personality. And I need to talk about these words when I talk personality, these words when I talk about traits, and then go back because you probably forgot something and start reciting this. You need to do it out loud. Reciting to yourself in the back of your head is not conducive to learning. And when you're done reciting, and of course you have to do this in small chunks again. And so when you are done reciting, you need to read the whole thing all over again, trying to catch loose ends, trying to put things together again, because as you can sort of dissected this, you will have things that you might have left or things you did not understand. It's a good time to write questions, because your teacher loves, all teachers love it if you bring questions. And so you bring a question to your class the next day or whenever, or to a office hour with a teacher, and they'll explain to you, and they're happy to help you understand that. Also, your questions will be more informed because you would have read all this over again. Then, when you are done reciting and reviewing, then it is good that you give it again a good reading. Just read it. Don't get back. Don't stop. Just give it a good reading. And by then, you should be pretty prepared to understand and answer questions about the chapter. One thing that you want to do as you review and recite is separate some of the questions that are more difficult from those that are easier. Because those that are difficult, you may have to recite more times. And so after you're done reading all this, you say, okay, so I have a hard time with, let's say, the 5-factor model of personality. I have those charts, I have that diagram, I'm not sure. So you can separate them. These are the most difficult, and these are the regular ones. So you recite these more often than the ones that are the regular ones. And that way you compensate for the time that it requires to understand something better.
Makes sense.
Okay, do you have any questions?
How would I use this information to answer my teacher's question?
Well, this needs to be done if there's several ways to go about this, but you have a syllabus, and in the syllabus you know when that class is coming, so you should start doing the survey and doing some of the reading ahead of time. Then after class, you should be at the point of starting to do the questions and do the reflection.
Mm-hmm.
And so that kind of puts you right in the middle of the subject. And then you will know how to answer the questions because they are right here. This book sometimes has, other chapters I've seen has like here, for example, has a list of definitions. Those are things that you should learn. And the answers are all in here. It's a method that may take a little while to get accustomed to, but you'll get really good at it. And pretty soon you'll be doing it very well. One of the problems with questions is that people think the question is asking for an opinion. The question is asking you to focus your answer on this. Also, you need to pay attention to what the question is. Make a list, describe what is. You have to make sure you answer that question. Describe. So that's what you do. Mm-hmm. And this will help you. This will give you the knowledge to answer those questions. And if you still cannot do it, then you go to your teacher with an educated guess and say, I read all of this, I understand this, I can see this, so your teacher knows that you've made an effort and that you really maybe don't understand, and he or she will be very happy to help you.
I'm going to give this a try.